And we're live. When we decide we want to become a hairstylist, we have this vision as colors, hairstyles that we want to create. For me, it was like slumber parties with my girlfriends that I get to do for the rest of my life. Sweet! And somebody pays me for it. That's the coolest thing. Maybe you dream about being a stylist for the stars. You might have this opportunity to style them one day, maybe be a personal stylist for the stars, own your own salon, educate, inspire people, maybe build a career around doing what you love. Maybe this isn't quite the case that you have found. And maybe you've been doing hair for so long and you're thinking, what the heck am I doing wrong? I don't have the clients that I want. I'm not getting paid what I always thought that you could get paid. What am I doing wrong? How am I not creating this life that I dreamed about by being a stylist? Where is that switch that you need to have, that flip? Well, ask yourself, who's your clientele? What do they look like? What do they do for a living? Where do they live? What is it that you want to go ahead and attract to yourself? Well, you guys are in for a treat today. Today we have with us Robear Landeros. And not only is he a stylist for the stars and he's living just an amazing life that I was just telling him before we got started here, how much I love watching his latest adventures, where he's traveling to. I'm like, okay, otra vez, where's he going? I love it. I love it. So he's been an inspiration to me, where I got to educate with him for a split second and hold his bobby pins. And I just felt so privileged to be stepping by his sides. But I learned so much from him in that short time that I'm just super excited for you guys to be with us today. And I know you're going to get more than a couple of nuggets that you can put in your toolbox to take you to that next level as a stylist, to make that connection for you, to be able to see what is it that I'm doing wrong. Maybe there's a shift. So we're so excited to have you guys here today with us. And, here we go. All right, you watching The Business of Beauty, where we bring you the latest tips, tools, and techniques from professionals in the beauty industry to help you grow your business. You can join us live every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And for those of you here on the West Coast, that's 3 p.m. And just type right now, sub in the comments below if you want to subscribe so you don't miss a next show. Here we go, guys. Robear's a vibrant 19-year career in the industry, and there's so much that I'm just going to have him share with us, about his journey. And I just want to bring him right on with us, guys. So thank you so much, Robear, for joining us today. And
Are you kidding me? Thank you. Wait, you don't even need me on this show. You were like so inspiring just on your intro. I'm like, why am I here?
Yeah, there's so much that I learned from you that you got to share. We got to show Robear. Share Robear.
You're too kind. And actually, the resume is so old. You said 19 years. I haven't updated it. It's actually yesterday made it my 23 years in business of doing hair. So.
What? High five. That's rad. You've been a little busy, huh, to not update your website.
I know. Well, no, it's the old, you have this resume, and after a while, from doing so much, you forget to go back and add it onto the resume. Yes. And just by reading it, I'm like, oh God, it sounds so bad. Like, I hate bragging or saying that, but it's needed these days, of course, with social media, with everything. It's a numbers game. It's a who you do game. And so I have to just be a part of it and play along with it. But I've always been a firm believer. When people ask me for my resume, I say I'm Robear and I do hair. That's my resume.
That's all you need to know. The
all
rest
the other stuff just happens to happen. You know what I mean? So, and awesome. I really don't like the whole celebrity hairstylist kind of labels that we put on each other, that society puts on us, and it makes us feel like we have to be a certain thing or a certain level in order to be a true hairstylist, and that is hogwash. You know what I mean?
Yep. That's awesome. I love what you're saying. It's like finding you. And that's the thing that I've always loved about you, is like you were always dressed down to the T's and always have been, still are. Every time I see him, like, what's he wearing? Because that's you.
That's been my thing. Like, I look back at old photos my parents have of me, and I'm this little boy on the couch dancing, and I'm wearing these hot pants, a t-shirt, and these little boots, and behind me is a James Brown poster in a Latin family. Go figure. You know what I mean?
That is awesome,
So fashion
Robear.
has always been part of my life. So I even had a segment on my Instagram that was called Footwear for Robear,
Yes.
where I would always put like my shoes that I'm wearing for the day or whatever.
Oh, totally. Did you see my post on Instagram I did today? I actually put, I think they were Prada. You would totally know which ones they were. They're plush, like peach, pink, a lot of shoes
Oh,
that you
yeah.
had. Yep. I love that. I always wanted to see that. What kind of shoes is he wearing? That's what I mean. Like, so
Yeah.
that's a big thing about being you, like finding you and bringing you to the table. I remember you saying that stuck out to me with doing hair. Like, you want to tell the difference between a stylist and a client when you walk into a salon.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
And
I'm glad you remember that. And I use that everywhere I go and I teach and everything. And I always tell people like a good rule of thumb to know if you're dressed appropriately is if a new client were to walk into your space, would they be able to identify you as someone that works there in order to ask, where's the restroom or where can I sit? If they can't pin you out to be a stylist working there, then you've missed out.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a huge tip and an aha moment for me when you said that. It's like, okay, why am I expecting my paycheck or my lifestyle to reflect what I'm not dressing the part for? And you definitely you're positioned for what you want out of that by stepping it up.
I'm a firm believer in what you put out is what you get.
Yeah.
If you go to work in flip-flops, you get flip-flop clients. If the back of your sweats say juicy and you have a camisole and a side ponytail, that's what's going to sit in your chair. I strive for more, so I look more.
Oh, shoot. I knew I should have dressed up from the waist down today on this podcast with
I
you.
could be naked doing this with you. I'm wearing nothing but socks. Just kidding.
I was like, is he going to wear shoes? Oh, shoot. Should I put on shoes? Because Robert's going to be on.
Wait, I actually have on these flip-flops that say the left side says day and the right side says off. So it says day off. So those are my slides for today.
That is sweet. So you actually have a day off today?
I do, even though I've been ripping and running, and I've been excited for this. Actually, I got a gig to do something today, and I had to cancel. I said no. My JoJo has been trying to get me on her program forever, and I'm not going to cancel on her. So here I am. And thank you. Excited for you. Everything you're doing, and you've always had that light in you. So I know you're just destined to shine even brighter. So I'm excited.
Oh, thanks, man. I didn't know you were going to make me cry today. I thought you were just going to make me laugh. No, seriously, that means a lot coming from you and someone that I've always had that connection with. So
yes.
So what are you up to these days besides traveling and doing hair? And I know that you're working on a book.
Pretty much it. I am working on a book, and everyone's been asking me about it. So I actually have a ghostwriter because I didn't even know how to begin to write a book, right?
Okay.
But I have a ghostwriter, and she's amazing. Her name is Gail Mitchell. She's actually the VP of hip hop and R&B for Billboard magazine. So she does celebrities' resumes and different. She writes up articles for the magazine. So she's one of my clients, and she just said, "You have a story, and I need you to tell it." And she offered to be my ghostwriter, and yeah. So
God bless her. We love her. I'm so glad.
She actually pushed me to it, and she told me to not worry about chronologically trying to write stuff down. Just keep writing, and she'll go through it and sift through it and organize it for me. So the working title right now is Robear ... Life Behind the Chair. So it's actually going to encompass everything from my not so great childhood to what made me who I am now behind the chair. So it'll be my journey as to my struggles and to where I'm at now, and hopefully it'll be a good book. So we'll see.
Oh, that's amazing. I want one of those. Can you autograph it for me?
Of course, girl.
All right.
Just traveling and working. I'm excited. I just finished Comic-Con, which, first of all, was my first Comic-Con ever. I didn't realize how crazy it is, how nerd fest it is, and everyone dressing up. It's Halloween in July. It was crazy.
Oh, man.
So I had a celebrity I had to do. She was there for two different things for she was there. She's the first African-American April O'Neil for the Ninja Turtles. So she's promoting that with Nickelodeon. So I did her hair for that.
That's cool.
And then she's also promoting a movie that's coming out called Cutthroat City. So we were promoting two things at Comic-Con, so that was fun. So I just got back from that.
That's
I
cool.
did Naha's in Vegas. For those of you that don't know what Naha is, it's actually our North American Hairdresser Award. So it's actually like our Oscars for hair. So I did that in Vegas. I go there every year for that. Just to see, get inspired, and to see who's up and coming, and also to see the work of the masters of today. And so it's just very inspiring when you're there. So it was good for that. But next month, I'm excited. I have so much going on next month. I currently have been filling in for the Steve Harvey show. So I
saw that. So when did you start doing that?
I started that, I want to say about 7 months ago. And then right now it's in hiatus until first week in September, and then the show will be back. So I've been working on that. A great team over there. We have Mike and Brittany, who are the head of hair and makeup, brought me on board, and I thank them for that. And it's a great group to work with. My show that I was working on, Hollywood Today Live, only made it for 3 seasons. So that's the thing about the industry too, is that it's very fickle. You know, you don't have a steady gig. So, but when you are on something that's fun and good, it's just a good time. And it allows me to break up the monotony of being behind the chair, because our clients limit us as to what we can do. Yeah. You're doing basic highlights and cut the whole time, you know, and going on TV, it just allows me to be a little more creative and really tap into that creative side. And I come back a little more energized and wanting to still do hair. That's why I think I'm not jaded still working behind the chair, is because I have a lot that I incorporate into it so that I don't get bored from it. But this coming month, September, I got picked up for a reality show, and we're actually filming the pilot in Cuba. And I know, I'm so excited. It's actually a salsa competition show. So they're going to travel all over Latin America, having a big salsa competition. And so I'll be doing hair for that, which I'm kind of excited because I love doing that kind of hair for updos or a show of that caliber. You have to do these elaborate hairstyles, but they have to stay in place while they're twirling at 15 miles per hour. You know what I mean? So, the challenge of keeping them structured while all that is happening is going to be a fun goal. So I'm the key hairstylist for that project as well. So
that is awesome.
I'm excited to start that project as well.
So will you fly back and forth through that, or is it like a one-time shoot that you go out and do, or like how do you work behind the chair and going?
A good question, because I've been really on that fine line of, do I cross over full time into hair TV wise, or do I still manage to balance salon and TV? And I've been holding on for dear life to both, only because I've worked so hard to maintain and have the clientele base that I do have now. And everyone looks at me, especially in the salon, they're always asking me for advice as to how did I get so many clients, and more importantly, how did I retain all the clients? Crucial, because a lot of times we'll get clients, but we won't retain them, and that's a big problem in the salon as well.
So what's your answer to that? Because they would probably have a bunch of stylists that have that very same question of retaining your clientele. And
I can only tell them what's been working for me, and for me, it's been consistency. What you see is what you're going to get from me. A lot of times they look at me and they just think I can do hair by the way I'm dressed or the way I conduct myself. Once I have that comfort of them there, then it's my turn. The problem that we all have actually is that we just need to get them in the chair. Once we get them in the chair with our skill set, we're going to keep them. You know what I mean? It's just getting them in there. I think that a lot of times we're not consistent enough, or we start to get comfortable with them because they come on a regular basis, and we start to just treat them like regular people. Oh, it's her again, it's my regular. But no, she needs to be treated like the new client is treated every single time. The level of customer service, the level of professionalism, the products we use, those help a lot too as to what's happening with their hair. Are we just about a hairstyle, or are we really about the integrity of the hair? For me, a hairstyle lasts a couple days. The integrity of the hair is forever. So I have to make sure that I have a product line or a system that is backing my professional skill levels, as well as now performing to where they need to perform, and being at a price point where the client can still afford them, but they're still high end at the same time.
Yeah.
And they
There's
can't
some
get
love right there. We need some hearts for that, because I know a lot of hairstylists are listening to you right now and saying, yes, you know, you can only guarantee the service when they're really taking care of the hair, taking that aftercare.
I've seen a lot of hairstylists cut corners on products, and to save money, they'll use the cheapest products, but then they have great skills, but then the hair still isn't turning out as great as it should because you're not having that product to support it as well. And even how we utilize our tools, a lot of us are using them incorrectly. We're over blow drying, we're over curling, we're over flat ironing, so therefore creating that damage to the hair as well. So there's so many factors there that determine why the client keeps coming back. Overall, I think it's relationship, because I take the time to actually care for my clients. I remember what our last conversation was, whether you come back 5 to 6 weeks from now, 8 weeks for your color, haircut, retouch. I'll remember you were going to a wedding. I'll remember you were at a baptism. I'll remember you went on a family trip. Like, it's these little things that if we just tap into that, we create a relationship with our clients, and therefore they feel that level of connection, which in turn is a level of loyalty where they won't leave you. And a lot of times our clients end up leaving us, and it's not because we did bad work. It's because they wanted a change, but they didn't know how to ask for a change. And we never offered a change. So then they go to a new client. He or she does one thing different than what you did, and now they feel they got a whole new look.
Because they got their change they were looking for.
And so people always ask me, well, how do you create the change if your client's not ready to change? You have to be convincing first to yourself, then to your client. You have to know what you're talking about. If I just go up to my client, she walks in, I look at her client card and I go, hi, you want a new color today?
Oh, yes, sign me up.
No? Okay. No. Let me go mix up your color. But if I come in energized, oh my God, I took this class this weekend by this guy, Robear, and the model he used had similar features to you, and I thought about you, and I got so excited. It's a fresh new approach to color placement, and I don't necessarily have to change your tones, but how about if we just change the application process and give it a little zhuzh so it could look a little more fresh and a little more modern? How do you feel about that?
Zhuzh me
now
up.
The client is excited because you're excited. You know what I mean? It's either you want a new color, or, hey, listen, I'm excited to do this. You almost don't give them the opportunity to tell you no. And that's what you create the change. And then that's how they stay fresh and alive and feeling new in your chair, because you continually are offering new and exciting looks. You can't just keep them the same way for 10 years and you look up and they're the same client. That means you haven't evolved and they haven't evolved either. But I say the key is being very consistent and being professional and having relationships with your clients. That's crucial.
Yeah, that's awesome. And the whole growth that you're seeing as a stylist, like being educated, going to classes, like you said, and where you're excited about it, like stay excited about it. How do you stay excited about it? So that's awesome. We have a couple questions for you, actually. One of them says,
someone's actually watching me?
Yeah. Someone's watching me. Someone's out there. I know, I forget they're on a show sometimes. I just am like catching up with you. This is awesome. So I think I know the answer, but maybe you use some things different now today. What are some of the products that you recommend to your clients?
Well, you probably do know the answer to one of them. So one of the products that I still use a lot is Davinus. Being as an educator for them for over 14 years, I've grown to love the company. And I still use some of their color line, use all of the product line. I use Kevin Murphy as well. So those are primarily the two systems that I use. And then color-wise, I also use Davinus a lot for color. Now that I'm not a full educator for them, I have the freedom now to be able to tap into other product lines and other tools and all that, and not feel like conflict of interest because I'm only working for this one particular company. And so it allowed me the freedom to just not feel bad for using another product line. You know what I mean? And I've discovered that there's great things out there. We just have to start using them. And then learning how to use them, because what works for someone might not work for this person. So you have to just learn how to mix and match. And first of all, understanding hair. We need to stop classifying hair by race. No more are the days of black hair, white hair, Asian hair, Latin hair. We need to address it more by texture because that's what it is. So it's either going to be straight hair, wavy hair, curly hair, or overly curly / kinky hair. That is how we address hair now, by texture, because I have Jewish clients that have coarser hair than my African American clients. So we can't, and everyone's so mixed up. No one is a purebred anymore. Like there's so many mixed races that the texture gets mixed in the process as well. So you have to be understanding of that texture and what it actually needs, what it lacks, and then deal with it accordingly. So I like that these two product lines cater to every texture of hair. So whatever I need, I can just pull from one or the other, and I've catered to that texture.
That's awesome. So I did know one. Yay. And I know I called you one time, or I messaged you when I had a question for a color. I'm like, oh, Robear, I'm going to ask. And it was high fashion colors. Do you still use Joico as your high fashion colors?
You know what? I do. And I don't know if you saw my latest post on Instagram with the neon
green.
Yeah, that was so much fun to do.
Sick.
And that actually, the neon green came from, that came back from Pravana's Vivids.
Oh, wow.
And then on her root, I actually used a spring green that came from the Joico one. So I did a deeper green root on her, fading into a completely super loud neon green. So that was fun to do too. So
that was awesome. Jason, if you can go onto his Instagram, Robear Hair, and grab that, because you guys need to see this. It's incredible.
It was fun. The fact that she was game, and mind you, this was a paying client. This wasn't like a model I hired to let me do this color. These are my actual true life paying clients that say, hey, Robear, whatever you're feeling, let's do it. Okay, let's do it. That's all I need to know. And she loved the green. And there's actually an image of me applying the color where you see the deeper green, and then I'm applying the green also, and then there's a finished look in there as well. So you're really working on this podcast with you, don't you?
I know, right? It's kind of fun.
Recognition he needs because he's behind the scenes. Can we just give him a hand?
Thank you so much. I know the guy behind. He just doesn't.
Those are the ones who always do it all. Like they make it happen. We're just the faces here. You know what I mean?
I know.
Thank you.
It's so true.
Because I had issues logging onto this, mind you.
I know. I just have to be like, okay, just get pretty. What? Okay, here I am.
And little tip. Speaking of the colors, you asked, do I still use Pravana? I mean, Joico and all that. I learned a technique when I went to the last ice show. I was using the funky colors on damp hair to eliminate the time factor, so after I did a base or whatever, or let's say I bleached them up, and then I would towel dry and then just go right into the damp hair and do it. And going to the show, I learned that if you 80% dry that hair, the color will actually take better.
So have you been doing that now?
So now that's how that neon green became so neon. And it was like I 80% rough dry the hair and then apply the color. So it did make a difference. So even me in 23 years into hair, you still should have room to grow and learn. You know what I mean?
Oh. Yeah, exactly. Get yourself promoted. That's why people out there are getting promotions left and right because they're growing, right? So it's the same thing in our industry. I feel, there's a reason why you charge so much. It's because you're constantly going with the times and educating yourself. If not, then it's okay. Not everyone has to grow, but if you are looking around wondering why your business is where it is, then right?
Yeah,
and I love that.
Totally. I always said there's the green. You see the green on the screen?
Yes. Oh, he put it up. Awesome. That is so beautiful.
It was so much fun doing it. And to get the end result, like in your head, you know where you want to go, but there's always that I don't know factor. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. So you cross your fingers too sometimes?
I think we all do. I mean, we do. This isn't magic happening, and we shouldn't. The only time we get spiritual is when we're doing color. We shouldn't have to call on the Lord just to save us from color services. But I feel that we definitely should have the education to back up what we're doing on the clients. But again, I had to completely lift her up. With pastels and neons, you almost have to get them white in order for the color to be true to the tone. So the challenge is in making sure you lift them up. I have created an ombre effect on her, so I had to definitely do some balayage and brush up the strokes so that she can still have a dirty root per se, so it's not all the way to the base.
Uh-huh.
And that's where I was able to add the green in there, the darker green, and then go into the lighter green. But you still have to lift them high enough, because if I didn't get her white enough, the yellow mixed in with the green would have not given you the neon. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
or if you're trying to go pastel, you'll never get a pastel when you still there. So
Yeah.
the key is still taking her up high enough, keeping the hair healthy enough where I'm not blow drying and there's confetti all in the sky and confetti of hair, because we have demolished that cuticle. So that's the key there. So Olaplex changes lives too. So I use that
Yes.
in my bleaching formulations as well.
I
So
love that.
yeah, so that's that.
So with your clients like that, and I know you did another one that was like red and orange. Now that was also a paying client. You have like all these fun, fabulous, bright clients that come in that allow you to do that. LA's so different from San Diego.
It is. And I think too, like you said earlier when you started the show, demographic LA. So a lot goes on out here, entertainment capital. And it's so funny because a few looks down from the green, there's someone with blue hair there. And what's funny is she's actually my best-selling author, Nicola Yoon, who did the book Everything Everything that became a movie as well recently. So I don't know if you've seen that one or not,
No
but
way.
her little rag to riches story is amazing because she got her degree in writing, but she worked in corporate America, and then she started to make jewelry, high-end jewelry. She was on Oprah and all that, but the jewelry just didn't go like she wanted it to go. So she decided, had a baby girl. And you know the feeling when you first have a baby, like they're your life, they're everything to you. So her baby was everything to her. So she decided to write and tribute writing to her. So every morning from 6 in the morning to 8 in the morning, no, 4 to 6 in the morning, she would write for 2 hours while the baby was asleep. And she finished the book in a year, and instantly it became bestseller. And shortly thereafter, Warner Brothers brought the right for the movie, and the movie did super well also. So now cut to her second book, which is The Sun is Also a Star, is also a bestseller, and it's now picked up, and they're actually filming the movie as we speak right now. So
that's so cool.
so that's her with blue hair. When she said the minute she became a published best-selling author, she said, Robert, I want you to turn my hair blue. I said, done. And that's the picture you see a few down from the green.
Oh,
Best-selling actor, writer Nicola Yoon, and I did her hair in blue. So there you go.
that's cool because it makes it even more special because it's a celebratory thing. Like, all right, when I get this, accomplish this, we're going blue.
And it became her signature now as an author. They only know her as blue hair author. Because she didn't start off one way and then change it right away. She started off as blue hair. And so now when the premiere comes out for the new movie, she wants me to do a nice funky blue updo on her. So we'll see.
Oh, how sweet. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely following you on all those things. I'm like, oh, where's he at now? Whose hair did he just do? It's so beautiful all the time. And one thing that always has stood out to me is your humility too, Robert. Like that's something that I don't know if people have told you, but definitely I love that. You're easy and carefree. And obviously those that are watching like see that in you. And I noticed that from the very beginning. And that's one huge thing I love about you, man. So
how dare me decide later on in my career to be better than someone else. You know what I mean? Like, and I think in LA, I don't know how it is on San Diego or your side of town and all that, but out here, all the hairdressers are just so catty and mean for no reason. They're all know-it-alls. And hey, there's my friend, Mr. I didn't like that because we can wake up tomorrow like this and can't use our hands. And who are we to think we're better than someone else? And who are we to think that we know something no one else knows? There's nothing new under the sun. I'm all about sharing because no matter how step by step I take you through it, it will not be Robear hair. It will be your hair. And everyone needs to create their own signature, their own style, and put the stamp on it using your own technique, your own skill set. A little brief story. I was assisting when I first started doing hair, this girl that was doing all kinds of celebrities because I did want to break into the industry. So I decided I better get in with someone who's in there so I can get the insight on how to do it, what I need to do. And so I did, and I did it absolutely free for a whole year of assisting her. And
Wow.
one day I went up to her and I said, hey, I need to, that technique you do on that one client, I need to know how you do it because I'm going to practice it today on my client. And she told me, oh, Robear, you know I don't share my secrets. And I
What?
laughed because I thought she was playing. I'm like, girl, you're so crazy. Anyway, so how do you do it? She goes,
Oh
no, I don't share.
man.
And so I was sitting there working on her clients, and in my head, I'm fuming mad, and I'm also sad and disappointed. So it's like a accumulation of emotions happening. And so I was like, I don't like this. Like, I didn't like that feeling of I gave to you a whole year of free work. And the minute I asked for a technique, you didn't give it to me.
Yeah.
And so that day I vowed that no matter who asked me for whatever I was doing, I would freely give to them because no one should feel what I felt in that moment. And that's why wherever I teach, wherever I travel, wherever I go, I will give you my knowledge. Pick my brain. It's here. It's not mine to begin with. You know what I mean? And so I'm a firm believer in open hand has room enough to receive more. When you're always closed, nothing else can go in there. So I just hope that these TV shows, the celebrities that I do, all that at the end of the day, I'd rather be known for what I do, not who I do. If I never do another celebrity, I'd like to know that I gave my best in this world I call hair world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're touching so many lives, you know, and it's like we stay connected because, like you said, getting to know that person and making it about them from the very beginning of, you know, building those relationships with your clients. And you do that with everybody you meet, though. That's just who
And you
you
never
are.
want to burn a bridge. You know, my dad taught me that. You never burn a bridge. Even if you know you're never going to have to cross that bridge again, you never burn a bridge, ever.
Yeah.
And in this industry, it's so small. It's so big, yet it's so small. And you never know who you're going to meet. Like even on social media, me doing celebrity clients now, I have to be very careful. Before, back in the day, I used to chime in and, oh my gosh, she's hideous, or look what she's wearing, or look at her clothes, or now I can't do that because I might just end up doing her one day. You know what I mean? So you can't be that guy anymore. You have to be very.
You'll have that Robear fancy foot in your mouth, like, oh shoot.
Oh yeah, I did say that about you. Sorry.
That happened to my mom the other day. Oh man, I hope somebody doesn't see this and knows this. Like, but she went to the doctors, you know, was complaining about this doctor that she had, and to the nurse or the front desk lady, and she goes, oh, tell me about this doctor. And she's telling her all this stuff about it, you know, and on. And she's like, who was it? Sounds terrible, Mrs. Villegas. And she tells the name. She's like, oh, let me show you my phone. Shows her. She's like, can I tell you something? That's my husband.
Stop it. Wow.
How'd that taste, Mom? Your zapato.
Yeah, your zapato was real tasty, Mama.
Like, we all do it, but we learn from it, you know. We're like, okay, maybe a little bit, but she was cool after that. Anyway, yeah, you're right. You never know. Speaking of which, actually, I think you've worked alongside one of my cousins in the industry, Christina Jimenez, doing makeup. I just saw you guys were connected. I'm like, wait, what?
So I worked at NFL Network for 5 years doing hair there. And Christina, can I tell you, love her. One of the few in there. There weren't that many that were that great, but she was definitely one to this day I still keep in tune with. I comment on Facebook, but she was such good people. She was 100%. She keeps it real, and she's super sweet. And so, yeah, small world again, right?
Right.
So, yeah,
there you go.
We're at NFL Network. That was a fun ride.
That's awesome. We have another question. I'm getting so caught up, guys. Sorry, I'm catching up with Robear here. So we got another question. I'm hearing from my producer here. If you guys have questions from Robear, seriously, pick his brain. We got him here. He said we got like 20 more minutes. From Facebook question.
And that's the person, right?
Oh, sorry. What's the question, babe? Arturo. I love it. Arturo has a question for us. What does Robear think the trends are in coloring now, and where does he see it going?
Oh, that's a good question. First of all, can I just say Arturo Arteaga is one of my best friends, actually, an amazing colorist, amazing human being. I just have to throw that out there because he's also my partner with my business stuff. So like anytime I'm doing education on the road and I'm having to set up my banners and all my videos and all my flyer, everything possible, not only on top of being an amazing hairdresser, he has time to help out his best friend and get his business going as well. So I just want to shout out to Arturo and say thank you, love you.
Dude, that's awesome. Awesome,
that
Arturo.
a great question. It's so funny. I mean, you could probably agree with me on this, Jojo. They ask us that all the time, but it's kind of weird because color sometimes stays in the same plateau for a minute. It's not like it's constantly evolving. I would say maybe yearly, if you go to the hair show, you'll get an idea as to where manufacturers and artists are pushing the color to go. But I think color now is definitely staying very creative as far as more handwork involved. Like still balayage is actually, I think, more prevalent now than it has been in past years. And just like people thought ombre was going to be a trend that was going to leave, ombre has officially stayed as one of our new contemporary classics now. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
It is what it is, and it's part of now curriculum because it's not going anywhere. So for me, I see color definitely being more artistic in the sense that we're using a lot of hand painting still. And by hand painting, even Davines has come out with a new system where they have these magnetic clips that attach to each other, and they're almost like a built-in stencil. So you can paint over them and it automatically leaves an amazing either wood grain, polka dot, galaxy feel, different techniques that you do to it. So it's fun where that's going because you can still keep it somewhat commercial, but have an edge to it. So you might want to check out the new templates that are out there from Davines that are amazing. If you haven't even used the flamboyage technique, which is it's a sugar adhesive based clear coating plastic that you lift the hair up with it, and it creates such a fine lift that you can't even achieve it with your weaving comb. So it definitely gives the hair a much more natural sun-kissed feel. So as far as color goes, I think we're leaving the whole mermaid scenario behind, which yay and bye at the same time because I'm over it. And I don't ever want to not, because if someone sat in my chair tomorrow and asked for it, yes, I would do it. But
she'd hook it up.
the only thing about those, and this is where my own personal thing, is that they look amazing in your chair. That first shampoo, it's a wrap. It's not cute anymore. It's a muddy, it looks like a unicorn went to a photo shoot first and there's a rainbow in the back of the unicorn. And then after you wash it, it looks like the unicorn pooed it. Like, it just pooped all over the place. So that's what
pooed it?
Yeah, it just pooped all over the place. And that's what happens to that unicorn hair.
Yeah, there's just no way to keep those colors there. But it's gorgeous.
And because they're temporary colors is what people don't realize is that the minute that you wash them, they're going to bleed and come out and they're going to mesh together. So whatever hair is more porous than the other, it's going to pull that color in even deeper. So it's going to be a mess after. So I'm glad we're leaving the whole mermaid scene. And I love that we're doing a lot more natural tones. And when we are doing bold tones, I love that we're mixing now a lot of complementary colors together that you wouldn't normally see together. Like I'm doing a lot of violets with oranges, which you normally only see on the opposite spectrum. So playing with the different tones of that nature is so pretty, very fallish. Again, keeping your client current with seasons helps not only keep them fresh and having a change, but it also keeps you creative and it keeps generating more money into your pocket as well. So I definitely am a believer in coloring according to seasons. So and that's why you want to make sure that the color is easy to be removed as well, where we're not just canking on these inky colors that are very damaging to remove from the hair later. So
confetti.
Yes, yes, the blow dry confetti. But I love that color's going natural, but still bold, and I'm just having so much fun with color right now. So I'm excited.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We have another question too from John Dixon. Robear, what is one of your favorite techniques?
Oh my God, John, this is another good buddy of mine. We travel to Brazil a lot. So, hey, I paid all these people to join the podcast to watch me.
Thank you. Nobody else usually is on. I'm like, oh, come on, bring your friends. No, just kidding.
Oh my God, that's a great question. So I get asked because, you know, in my salon as well, it was departmentalized where you have cutters and you have colorists, and then you have those that do it all. And I always get asked, what is my favorite thing to do? I actually love the complete transformation of when a client comes in and I completely change their color, give them a new cut, and then I style it at the end. So for me, I love doing that whole makeover.
Yeah.
People are like, well, pick one, color or cutting. I can't. I love doing all three, the transformation. But if I had to pick one, and this is just for obvious reasons, color makes more money.
Of course, yeah.
Color makes more money, but color allows you to be super creative. It really, you're a chemist at this point because you're in control whether the hair is amazing or it can go really bad. And if you don't know how to correct really bad, then you're really in trouble. So I think it really taps into my brain a little more. But a great color will look even that much more enhanced if it had a great cut.
Yeah.
A great cut would look that much more better if it had a great color attached to it. So I think they're kind of synonymous where they both belong together. So,
would you say it's like ripping apart the yin and the yang?
Absolutely. You know, because a lot of times we're walking around with just a yin and we need that yang, you know?
Yeah.
So I agree. Yeah. But I love doing it all. Thank you, John, for that question and for tuning in.
Great question. Yeah, that's a great question. So we got another question. So Robear, can you go into more detail about dressing the part and how you need to change with what's trending?
Okay. Who's this? Jason Jackson.
This
What's
is
up?
Jason Jackson.
Okay. So here's my thing about the dressing the part. And again, if you don't have the finances or the resources to go and buy a whole new wardrobe, that's not what I'm suggesting here. What I'm suggesting is to put your best foot forward. We pick and choose where we want to look good, depending on what the deal is. If we're going to go out to a party, a birthday party, out to the club, out to hang out with someone, a special event, we really dress up and make an effort to look good. But yet when it comes to our career that's going to make us money, we tend to not want to put that much thought and effort into it. And I don't get it because that's what's actually making you money to be able to go do those things that you dress up for. So why not dress up for this? My motto is, if we are image makers, then we should have an image. We should look the part. If you
cut on a t-shirt,
right? That's a good hashtag, right? Yeah. So if you cut hair, you should have a haircut. If you do color, you should have some form of color, even if it's a color gloss. You don't want to put permanent color in your hair. Something should be in your hair. You're your biggest form of advertisement. I get it. Because we work so hard, we don't have time for ourselves, especially the girls in the salon. They're always pulling back their hair into a ponytail or trying to get creative with a hat or something because they just don't have time to do their hair. But you are your biggest form of advertisement. If your hair is nice, then the client sitting in knows that, well, if her hair is good, I know mine's going to look good.
Oh, yeah, 100%. People judge you. They can't help but judge you and look at you and they're like, oh, yeah, you can do my hair. I do it.
They're just you know? As soon as they see you, and I like to look the part. I will have no problem putting on H&M, Forever 21, something really cheap. Yeah, you can't wash it because it's done after you wash it, right? But I would put H&M and Forever 21 with a good pair of shoes or an accessory that's expensive. You don't have to be head to toe label whore. You can just look decent and clean. You have to smell good. You're working on people all day long. Like, I've gotten so many gigs by the way I look. When I go do hair for Oscars, Grammys, Emmys, MTV Music Awards, I go dressed as if I'm going to those awards. 80% of the time that I've done that, I've actually had to go with talent to the actual awards. And they took me because I was already ready. So what if they never used me and I didn't get to go and I'm in a tuxedo? It doesn't matter. I still did the job and I looked good and I prevented an emergency happening. I go to all these red carpets because I'm already dressed looking the part when I go do hair.
Oh, yeah. Or you might get a picture. I've seen that too, where I think it was where you were walking across.
Exactly. And I'm like, oh my God. And it's mortifying because you don't expect paparazzi to get you, but there are so many photos of me that paparazzi has caught with me and my talent. And it's mortifying. And just at this trip, I was like, I was at the Comic-Con and paparazzi was like crazy. She said, make sure you stand right by me because I don't want anyone else in the photo. So I have to look the part when I'm standing with her because you never know.
Yeah, it's her team. You
Oh
got
my
to
God.
look like that.
Jason said, I always love to see you with the flower in your jacket.
I
Oh my God.
know.
It's like, I haven't done it lately, but oh my God, Joanne, you know, that was like my thing,
Your
right?
signature thing. I picture the black tux, a black suit with a white flower, and then you had wingtips on, like with white and black. You got it was all together, and the
Yeah.
white tux. You know,
Yeah,
you
I
did
used to do
right.
the flower thing a lot in my lapels, in my pocket. So yeah. But you know what? Those are little things that,
Yeah,
again, you're setting yourself apart from everyone else.
yeah. Make you
So
you.
many salons, so many stylists within your own area. What's going to make you stand apart from the rest? So definitely your look, definitely your professionalism, how you treat your clients, and at the end of the day, the work that you're putting out there.
Mm-hmm.
Is your work worthy enough to carry your name? And that's
Yeah.
what you need to start asking yourself. Did I put enough of me into that I can be proud for them to say, Joann did my hair, Robert did my hair. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I put my name on everything. I sign all my work because I'm proud of what I've done to that person.
Mm-hmm. That's another thing with social media, right? Putting that out there and letting people see, your work. Is that also? I'm sure it's grown your business as well.
I hate it. Can I just say that? And I know I'm probably not
No,
alone.
let's be real, because it's a. Go ahead.
And I'm coming from an older market, like, but I'm still hip for my age. Like people think I'm younger than I am, but it's literally a lot of work. And I don't do it nearly as much as people do it on a daily.
Yeah.
I try to do mine on a weekly and get those numbers going for the week or whatever. And then if you've noticed, I did a little spring cleaning to my Instagram where before it just looked like Mardi Gras. It was just a burst of pictures everywhere. And so then I did a big collage of myself to break everything up. And then from that point up, I've now done my pictures in threes. So everything I now do has either side view, back view, and front view. And so when you start looking at my Instagram, it's now looking a little more less bipolar and a little more attractive. You know what I mean?
I love it. I wondered how you did that picture of yourself. I was really impressed. I was going through, I'm like, whoa, that's cool. How do you do that?
I saw someone else's Instagram do that. And I'm like, oh my God, the skill set you need to pick the exact, but actually no, there's an app that does it for you.
Okay, because I'm like, what do you mean you're not techie? Shoot, how'd you do that?
So crazy. But yeah, I try to send it to all the social medias, my Instagram, Twitter, and my Facebook. So I definitely send them to those three medias. I've struggled for following. Like I'm not one of those who has paid for followers.
Yeah.
Or has this thing where you
never do that.
Follow so-and-so to get so-and-so to follow you to do all this. Like when I tell you I have earned, and I almost know every single one of them personally, I have earned all my 3,000 something followers, but I refuse to be the guy who pays for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you should have to. And that's the thing.
Like it. If you don't, you don't. But hopefully I'm here to put that out there. Thanks, Jason. Look at that.
Oh, we love it. We love it. Oh, so wow, running out of time already. Okay, so any more tips you got for us? And got running out of time here, but
this was fast. I thought, oh my God, what are we doing?
Right?
An hour. That's a long time to be talking, but I look up and it's almost over. Aw.
I know. Why? Have to come back.
Out there, I'm getting ready to start another set of classes. So if you're interested in a certain class, whether you want cutting, coloring, styling and updos, or editorial classes, let me know, let Joann know or myself. And then
for sure. How do we stay connected with you for those that are interested in it?
Everything is Robear Hair is my handle on everything.
Okay. And then, so contact at Robear Hair. Perfect.
Yeah. And then so everything's Robear Hair. So I will formulate a class depending on what you guys want more. I will create a class for that, and I'll send it out, and we'll just start my first season of classes with whatever you guys request, and we'll make it.
Oh my gosh, I love it! Did you just launch a class? Like whatever we want?
Whatever you want. I'm tired of dictating what I'm going to teach. I want you guys to tell me what you want me to teach, and I'll be more than happy to give it 100%. And Arturo and I will set it up, and we'll be in your area to teach that class. So
I love it.
Thanks for taking time out to listen to little old me. And Joann, I'm so proud of you for doing this, because people
Thanks.
realize it takes a lot to do something like this. It's not just turn on the camera and let's go. It's so much behind the scenes, so much getting the artists together, getting the format together, the production value of what you present. Like it does not go unannounced or unaware. Thank you so much for what you do for our community.
Thank you so much, Robear. I love you. I'm so thankful for you. And yeah, definitely, like I said, I'm the face. I get on and have to get through the nerves. My husband's the one that does all the pushing.
Does all the work. Kudos to him as well. And you guys, thank you. And if you guys want me back, just ask. I'll be more than happy to come back.
Can you come back?
I'm here.
Awesome.
Different glasses. Just let me know and I'm here.
I love it. Enjoy your day off. Thanks for being with us, guys. Thank you, Robear. I love you. Have a great day.
Of course.
Mwah. Thanks, guys. Follow us and make sure to subscribe for our next show, and have an awesome day. Okay. Happy Monday. I think my phone's dying over here if you guys are watching, so